Hey guys, it's Brandon, your GTA home guy, and today I'm going to tell you how you can prep your home for selling success. Yes! Let's get to it. Alright, so you're thinking about selling your home and you think, you know what? I should really do this in an intelligent way. Well, how do I know what intelligent is? Well, I've been watching all the Home and Garden channel stuff. It's amazing! Did you know that with just a can of paint and I don't care. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the time-tested, proven things that you need to do in order to increase the value of your property, net more, that's what you're gonna do. And how are you gonna do it? I'm gonna show you how. Let's get to it. But first, oh wait! Oh my gosh, I forgot, you need to subscribe. Just subscribe, help the channel grow, help it get out there to more people. Share the link, do whatever you have to. Just do it, it's all free, right? For now, maybe. Tip number 1 is all about renovation. Now, renovation to a lot of people can mean a lot of different things, but you've walked around your home enough to know the things that are trash that you wish were different. But you need to look at it from a buyer perspective. Are those buyers, A, going to notice it going through, going to value how much money you have to spend in order to accomplish that change, or are they even really gonna care? Let's talk about the first one. Are they gonna notice? Is it something that a buyer walking through is gonna notice, or are you just like, nah, I hate how there's a ding right there, or hate how there's this little chip there, or man, we should really get some basement stairs soon because people right down. Basically, assessing it from a buyer's point of view, if you can't do that because you're too tied to it and you're like, oh, I hate that disgusting green color. Sweetheart, move out of the way, the wall looks gross too. Whoops. If you have a hard time deciding what should or shouldn't change, maybe invite some people over that you trust and say, could you please walk through our home like a buyer would and decide whether or not it's something that needs to change. And get those people who will tell you honestly, not just the people who will tell you what you want to hear because you don't get really great advice from them, right? I'm right, right? Is the value return there? In that, I mean, if you pay a bunch of money, is it going to be something that would increase the value that much, or is it something that would negatively impact your sale to the same amount of value? So let's say it was a $1,000 fix. Is that $1,000 going to be returned, or is the buyer going to come in and say, no, since you didn't do that, I'm taking $1,000 off? Those are important things to weigh in. Do you need to do it? Buyers always want to save cash out of pocket when they're moving into a new home. So many things you are better to take care of in advance, just so that the buyer doesn't even have to think about it, but you really want to assess it from a fiscal responsibility standpoint and make sure that the value is going to be there in the end. And are the buyers even going to care? There are some things that you might think to do because you think, well, this will help, but some buyers won't even care. Plain and simple. So really assess it objectively. Now, when we're talking about larger scale renovations and things that need to be done that are maintenance items that may not return in value, some of those still need to be done or else they will detract from your value. Have a professional come through and give you a real accurate assessment of what you need to do to get your home gone in the quickest amount of time for the most money without wasting time or money. Oh, did I mention? I am that professional. In a non-cheesy, sleazy way, right? Let's be straight. I know my stuff and I want to help you out. And one thing I get asked all the time, Brandon, how do the minor things play in? Well, as far as renovating goes, if you're thinking big renovations, scrap that. Let's just focus on the little nuances. One big, powerful analogy that I was presented with early on in my real estate career is that when you look at a video, you think, I can tell that they're suggesting that was in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or whatever. How do you do that? It's not because of how the people are, it's how all the accents are. Everything in a room kind of conveys, oh wow, that's old, or that's way back. It's all the little accents. It's not the people didn't travel back in time and film stuff, it's just the accents. So look around your home and say, are my accents in place? Being your register covers, your light switch styles, your lighting, everything. All those things can communicate age of a home and date the home. You don't want that. You want to remove those things so that a new buyer comes in. Now, if your home's too far gone and it's just like, no, we really haven't done much over the last while, you need to decide how far you're going to go. Don't do those minor things because it can add up in dollars if it's not going to return and somebody's just going to gut the house anyway. Other little things that I'm mentioning are things like caulking. So around your tub, make sure that all the grout looks great and the caulking looks fresh and clean. Anything that you can do to minimize the thought in the buyer's mind of, oh, this is going to be a lot of work. Honey, I don't think this is a place for us. Let's keep looking. You want to make it so that it looks like they can just move in, set their stuff in, and decorate to taste. Other than that, look at things imperative as to how they function or are supposed to. If there is a hinge that's squeaky, oil it. That 3 seconds of your life can save a buyer walking in and think, oh, that's one more thing I need to do. If your screen is torn because your cat's hanging on it all the time, go get a new screen and a new cat. No, I'm serious, cats. Keep your cats, their family. How far in advance of a sale should you start looking at all the things you need to do? Well, there's going to be certain scopes of projects. If it's renovations, you can get ones that are fairly large and you might need to plan well in advance. But basically, always look at your home. If you're a homeowner now, look at it and say, what would I have to do before I could sell this home and net the most amount of money? It might be small decorating things. It might be things that you can clear up at the last minute, but there is almost invariably always one project that you've been putting off that you know, I really need to put a front door back on this place because the raccoons are wild. Point is, guys, there could be a lot of things that if you have the time before you're going to sell, you could prep for that road ahead and make a smooth transition and make it less of a mad dash that I seem to find is more common than I care to admit. It's not a mad dash, it's a slow progression towards what you can do to maximize that value. If you need somebody to partner with you to figure out exactly what those things are, give me a ring. Reach out on any social. I think I've mentioned it before, but we'll get there at the end of the video. Don't want to go out of turn. Point is, have a professional, somebody that you trust, come in and give you a good idea as far as timeframes on what to do, what to get done, and what should maximize your value, because those things don't change very frequently. Unless it's a big style change. Everybody's like, I can't stand orange anymore. Everybody hates orange paint for some reason. Now, last thing before we get to our bonus, that is I want to tell you when to engage a pro. So you're looking for a realtor to represent you, somebody that you want to be honest and treat you fairly. Get them involved early. I tell all of my clients, now buyer clients a little earlier, I say, hey, you just bought your place, let's start talking about selling it. I'm just kidding. In a no pressure situation, I say, listen, please let me know anything you need for your home. I want to be there. I want to have that relationship with you so that we can have a successful sale 20 years from now. But if you're looking to engage a pro for the first time to sell your home, you want to reach out as early as you can. A lot of people apologize and say, Brandon, I know we're more than a year away, but we just want to know what we can do to kind of, that's perfect. A year or better is best for making sure that you reach out to the pro. Why? Make them put in a little bit of legwork on the front end. Make sure that they are somebody who's trustworthy, who's obviously doing it because they care about your bottom line. They're not like, oh, good, quick sale, here we come, it's only a few years away, right? Make sure that it is somebody that you can trust consistently when there's not a paycheck on the line, and that can help you really vet the agent for down the line when you need them. Now, guys, I have to admit, I do have another bonus for you, just like at the end of all my videos. So here it comes. Oh, wait, I just got the reminder. We have to subscribe first. You and me. I'll do it. We'll do it at the same time. Did you? No, we'll try again. Come on, guys, just do it. Anyway, enough of that. Here's the bonus. I wanted to give you 3 questions that you could use to kind of help figure out if the agent you're interviewing is the right one for you. Ask them what the days on market common for your area are and what they expect that to translate to on your sale and how your marketing and your approach is going to go for it, okay? Because if they can articulate that and give you some sort of firm path ahead, then you have something later that you can refer to. So what I would do is also document that in an email follow-up saying, you know what, I'm glad that it's only going to take us 15 days at our current market because pricing it at this and this, so that you have a record and can refer back to that. If ever there's any kind of hazy memories like, oh no, I'm sure I didn't say that, you can just say, actually, we did discussed that, and here it is. So what's wrong? Why is my property not selling if you get to that stage? Question 2, what is their process for follow-up after showings? Now, a lot of agents are going to show the place. Some sellers think that maybe, oh, that agent's going to be responsible for bringing all these clients in. Not true. It's usually a lot of other agents working on the MLS system to bring all the buyers to your home. So, how is that agent going to follow up with any buyers? What are they going to do to solicit more interest from the buyer representative? That's a good question. Ask it, see what they say, because you want somebody, in my perspective, what my business practice it has been, because it works, is you want somebody who's going to follow up, but not too soon. I've gotten calls while I'm still on the road showing properties. I can't tell you what my buyer's gonna do, and what are they doing that for? So that they, okay, I did the call, I got the feedback, boom, done. A good way to do it is to give the buyer rep a little bit of space and then call, maybe the next day. That's appropriate, so they can still remember the property, so they can get property specific feedback as well. From there, you've got the ability to know whether or not the buyer's gonna do something, because there is no way that your agent calling right as that person's leaving the property is going to force that buyer to come forward with an offer. Does that make sense? I think so. Last one is, how frequently should you expect to hear from them? This is a big one, because a lot of people will just sign their listing agreement and then be like, I think he must have died, because they never hear. That's a big complaint that you hear in the marketplace, so I know that that is valid and exists. What you want to do is set your expectations in advance, because a lot of times I let my sellers know, for this first week you will barely hear anything other than updates as to how the process is going, what sort of things we're implementing, and how our launch is going to go. This is when I have a chance to prep before launch. If it's something where we're actively showing, then you should hear follow-up and feedback after each or a couple of showings, that sort of thing. If it's gaining a long time on the market, maybe a little less contact, but still with all of the pertinent information and anything as it goes. The other thing is you want to be contacted as soon as there's any questions about the property that the realtor might not know. So make sure that they have all your contact information, everything programmed so that they can reach out to you at any point that they need. They need to know where to catch you, and you need to be highly responsive to them. Why? Because all that stands between your property being sold and maybe that buyer entertaining the, hey, wait, a new one just came up, can we go see that? Is getting them the information as promptly as possible. That breakdown in communication could cost you the sale and cost you dollars. Don't let it, because I've told you now. Now you know. All right, guys. Anything else, you want to sell your home, you want the top dollar in the least amount of time and the least amount of stress you could possibly have, then you've got to reach out at GTAHomeGuy on any social, and I'll see you then.
Reach out in any social at GTAHomeGuy. I did that.